Considering that we've had songs about a reindeer with a radioactive red nose and a golem made out of snow, I'm still waiting for the Christmas Carol about Billy the perverted slasher. I mean, the kids would love that. Black Christmas takes place in a college sorority house where the girls are receiving phone calls from this very creepy person who calls himself Billy, and the situation only escalates when people start to go missing. When people think of slasher movies, they often think of the unholy three, Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, and Freddy Krueger. However, along with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Black Christmas is one of the earliest slasher films ever made, and this was basically the film that inspired John Carpenter to go on and make Halloween, and then his movie went on to inspire producers to make Friday the 13th, and, well, the rest is history. In fact, I get the feeling that the remake of this film may have inspired some recent reboots like Leatherface and Rob Zombie's Halloween, where they have to delve into the history behind these killers because, as you all know, a deranged psychopath isn't scary unless you get to know him as a human being. With this movie, there is zero backstory to the killer. All that you know about him comes from what he does to the people in this sorority house and what he says to them on the phone. During his phone calls, he does kind of give you glimpses into his past, but at the same time, he could be just like the Joker from The Dark Knight, where everything that he's saying is complete bullshit. Come to think of it, along with predating modern slasher villains, Billy kind of predates internet trolls in that he's able to just act as horrible as he wants because he has that shroud of anonymity. One thing that I suspect some people won't like about this movie is that there isn't much on-screen violence going on. A lot of the gore is more implied, but really it's more about setting up this creepy atmosphere than just splattering blood on the screen. Like, there's one point where a woman takes a hook to the face. I mean, you see it coming at her, but instead of actually showing you what happens, the movie only allows you to hear her screams, and ultimately, the image that you get in your head is more creepy than what the film could have actually shown you. This movie also has a pretty solid soundtrack going for it. I mean, along with having standard horror music to build the atmosphere, it also utilizes Christmas carols to kind of build up the creepiness. I mean, there's a scene in which one of the characters is listening to carolers while another is getting murdered elsewhere in the house, and it's almost reminiscent of Night of the Hunter, where Robert Mitchum made gospel sound life-threatening. I appreciate this movie's sense of humor, too. It does have some legitimately fun characters in it, like Margot Kidder is in this as sort of the loud, obnoxious, fun-loving member of the sorority house, but she never really gets to the point where she gets on your nerves, where you want to see her die. She is actually very likable. There's even a point where Billy is making one of his disturbing phone calls, and she's kind of there to ease the tension. There's also this cop character in the movie who's a lot less likable. He is just terrible at his job, but there is a pretty great scene in the movie where Margot Kidder pulls one over on him, and everyone, including the audience, gets to laugh at his expense. Another thing that people might not like about this movie is that it kind of inspired the trend of slasher movies having dumb characters. There's a scene in this movie in which one of the characters is being told that the killer is in the house and that she should not by any means go up the stairs, and then she immediately runs up the stairs. In an interview, the actress who played her defended this by saying that if she hadn't run up the stairs, there would be no movie, but honestly, while I was watching it, I interpreted it as, she doesn't know that her friends are dead. One of them was sick and helpless in bed the last time she saw her, so really I saw this less as a case where she's acting dumb because movie, and more of a case where she's bravely going up there to make sure that her friends are alright. One nitpick that I do have with this movie, though, is that leading up to the first couple of kills, there's a cat in the sorority house that just happens to start meowing when someone is alone and getting ready to be killed. I mean, why is this the only time that they can hear the cat? What is the killer doing to make it softly meow and lure his victims into his lair? Hey guys, there's this psychopath I've been hanging out with lately, but he's a really great guy. I think you should come meet him. Also, I'm hungry. Feed me. Meow! Again, Black Christmas might not have much on-screen violence for you modern slasher fans, but it's still a very fun, creepy movie, and it definitely comes recommended for this holiday season. And that's all I've got to say about the film. I hope you all have a good one.